Welcome to the channel, guys. I'm Real the author, and in this video I'll be reading my story about a boy who receives messages from his future self to warn him of upcoming events and dangers. Hope you all enjoy. Have you ever wished that you could warn yourself of the near future? A way you could tell yourself, don't wear that white shirt today, it's gonna rain, or make sure to study for Miss Lisa's pop quiz tomorrow. Well, this one young man did, but he wasn't being warned about the weather or pop quizzes. He was being warned of life-changing events. The young man in question is me, Tyler. Before these strange things started to happen to me, I lived a normal life. The typical two-parent household, went to a public high school, and had my share of after-school activities like baseball. On one particular day, I remember waking up and getting ready for school. It was towards the end of my sophomore year, so I already knew how these last few weeks were gonna go. I walked to school just like every other day. I only lived a few blocks away, and I thought it'd save my dad the gas, and I didn't like being cramped on the school bus every day. The bell rang as I stepped into my homeroom class. The teacher, Mr. Wright, who was about 6'1", had brown hair, like blue eyes, and looked like he worked on cars in his spare time. He was always joking around and rarely made us do any work. I took a seat next to my good friend Tristan. Tristan was about 5'9". He wore these Harry Potter-like glasses and couldn't see without them. He had short dark hair and was always talking about something random. As Mr. Wright is taking attendance, I heard Tristan welcome me with, "What if deja vu is just you losing a life and starting again at the last checkpoint?" I respond with, "Dude, I literally just sat down." But people never think of those things. Yeah, and there's reasons why. He can go on all day about the strangest things. "So you hear about tomorrow's game?" Tristan says. "No, what about it?" I reply. "The Tigers pitcher broke his arm last week. He won't be playing in tomorrow's game." Well, that's a huge weight off the team's shoulder. We live in a small town where everyone is familiar with each other, more or less, and we had our championship game approaching in a day and a few hours. The school we play are the Townsville Tigers, one of the best schools in our league because of their pitcher, Michael, but he's nothing to worry about now. I tell Tristan, "I'm just ready to hang up an MVP trophy." He says, "The only trophy you'll be getting is a participation trophy." He surely thinks he's a funny guy. "Just be ready and make sure you're catching my pitches." "I'll try if they can go any faster than 50 miles per hour. That's how fast I'll drive my foot up here." "Tyler!" I hear Mr. Wright calling. I almost forgot he was still taking attendance. "I'm here," I say with a slightly annoyed tone. Some time had passed, and I found myself at lunch. The cafeteria wasn't serving anything special that day, just pizza and chicken sandwiches. I usually pack my own lunches, so I ate a turkey sandwich that looked like it came straight from an episode of Scooby-Doo, with a bag of Doritos to complement it with the crunch, and a now room temperature water to flush it down. I was ready to get the day over with. I was too excited for our championship game. As I'm waiting for the bell to ring so I can proceed with my last few classes of the day, I bump into Coach Steve, the baseball coach. Coach Steve is a buff dude, about 5'10", dark wavy hair, and always wearing shades. "What's up, Coach?" I greet him. "How's my star player doing?" "Just fine." "You're getting some nutrients in your body, I see. We're gonna need you tomorrow." "Yeah, I'm excited. I heard about the Tigers pitcher. That's unfortunate, but it sure helps us a lot." "Yeah, it does. But that boy can outpitch you anyway. You got one of the best arms I've ever seen." "I know I'm not supposed to ask this, but I was wondering who you were thinking of giving that MVP award to." "Well, we'll see after tomorrow's game for sure. Just show up and do your best, kid." The bell rings as he's finishing his remarks. "Go ahead to class. I don't want to have to sit you out for being tired of class now." "Alright, see you at practice, Coach." I go ahead and finish off the rest of the day, including the last after school baseball practice of my 10th grade year. I get home and eat dinner, sitting at the table with my mom, dad, and younger sister. After my second plate of mom's homemade lasagna, I went downstairs to my room to get some rest for the game. I'm lying in bed scrolling through TikTok when I get a message on my phone from an unknown number. I open it and it reads, "Don't go to the game tomorrow." I look at the message and ignore it, thinking someone from the Tigers had gotten a hold of my number. Then I got another message saying, "Stay home or your whole life will change." At this point, I'm getting pretty annoyed, so I just end up blocking the number. After about 5 minutes, I end up falling asleep. The next morning, I woke up a little early. I couldn't stay asleep too long. I was too excited for the game that day. I go on YouTube and watch my favorite baseball player, Julio Rodriguez. I stay up for about 30 minutes watching his highlights until it's time for me to get up and get ready. I went upstairs to brush my teeth and crossed paths with my dad on the way to the bathroom. My dad, almost fully dressed, just missing his dress shoes and a fixed tie, says, "Make sure you stop by after school and open the door for your little sister. I'm going to be working a little late and your mother has some errands to run on later." My sister is not responsible enough to have a kid of her own yet. And the spirit kid we had, I lost it freshman year. And we still haven't replaced it. Of course, I'll stop by before I have to be at the field and make sure she gets in. The second graders get out of school later than the high schoolers, so I should have enough time to run back home and open the door. Our house was only a 5-minute walk from my school, and my sister sometimes rode the bus home. Usually, my mom would be home to open the door for her, but she was busy that day, so I had to make sure my sister got in the house safely. A simple task. My dad tells me, "Your mom or myself should be home shortly after your sister arrives. So don't worry about sticking by, just make sure she gets in." "That's perfect. So I can be at the field a little early and get a couple of practice throws in," I reply. "Yeah, and I can't wait to see you either, son. You know, back in my day, they called me M2. "Why is that?" "'Cause the ball would come at you so fast and make the sound of an M2 bullet wheeze and pass." "That's hard to believe, old man, but I'll take your word for that." "You better believe it, son," he says, walking away towards the kitchen. After I finished brushing my teeth and using the restroom, I heated up a frozen breakfast sandwich in the microwave for 2 minutes and left out the front door. On my way to school, I decided to stop at the corner store a few blocks down. I had left early anyway, and I remembered that I hadn't packed a lunch. So I went to grab a deli sandwich and some chips. Once I got to the store, I greeted the clerk. She was a middle-aged woman with light brown hair and freckles. Everyone called her Mama. Me and a couple of friends would always stop by after school or practice and get some snacks. Sometimes she'd give us discounts or throw in some free candy. "Hey, how you doing?" she welcomes me with. "I'm good, Mama. Just grabbing something for lunch." "Don't you have to be at school soon, kid?" "Yeah, I forgot a lunch and figured I'd come by really quickly." "Alright, kid, what you need?" "I want a turkey sandwich with lettuce, tomatoes, onion, pickles, and cheese. Mayo and mustard too, please." "Alright, I'll have Ricky make that for you." She takes a paper with my order written down and passes it to a skinny, tall man in the back. "I'm gonna go grab a few more things, Mama. Be right back." She gives me a silent nod while I run towards the big fridges in the back and grab myself a cold water. On my way back to the counter, I grab a bag of plain chips, the best chips to go with Mama's deli sandwiches. "This will be all," I say to Mama. "Okay, $10.94. As I reached into my pocket to hand her the money, I saw some Starburst on the counter, my sister's favorite candy. I remember a few months back, that's the only thing she would eat. Mom will have to trick her into eating dinner by telling her, "I'll get you more candy if you finish your plate." That's the only thing that got her to eat dinner with us. "I'd also like 2 packs of these as well," I say. I place $15 on the counter, a $10 bill, and 5 $1 bills. "I'll take 11 and you keep the candy, kid." "Thank you, Mama." "Alright now, hurry up to school."